Hello, everybody. Here he is, the man who invented languageology, the science of spoken language. Yes, it's me. I did this all by myself. And so now it is up to you individually, yeah, whether you are going to discover what I've discovered, because you can only discover it on your own. Are you going to discover what it is like to have what I have, to have embodied language? I hope you do. And if you do, if you begin to recognize that there is absolutely a big, big difference between when you listen to yourself while you speak and when you don't listen to yourself while you speak. That last one, that is, of course, how you usually communicate. You don't listen to yourself while you speak. You listen to others, you try to get others to listen to you, but you're not listening to yourself. So if you are going to experiment on your own and begin to recognize like, wow, this is what I've been missing my entire life. Yeah, that's true. And this is what you have actually always wanted, but you could never get to it. And unless you feel that way, you haven't really discovered what embodied language is. Because these self-reinforcing effects that I'm describing, they are, yeah, they are irrefutable, they are so prominent, so tangible. If you don't experience that, you're not having embodied language. You're not yet listening to yourself. So it's very easy to continue with your disembodied language and to make yourself believe as if you're having embodied language. But having embodied language is not a belief. You don't need to believe anything. Yeah, you experience it in the moment that you have it, and yeah, when you don't have it, you don't have it. So when you don't have embodied language, yeah, you are troubled, you are struggling, something is wrong, something is missing. You feel tense, you feel anxious, you feel stressed, you feel worried, frustrated, all these things. Everything is negative in disembodied language because you're not listening to yourself. So once you begin to listen to yourself, everything turns positive. And that's an incredible turnaround. Yeah. Also, when you manage to have embodied language, you should know that your disembodied language has stopped, even if it only stopped temporarily, even if it was only for a few seconds or a few minutes, maybe, yeah, that you were talking with yourself and that you said, oh, now I get it. I start to feel it. I hear myself. And of course, me being the speaker, I am also the listener, and the speaker and the listener are one. Yeah. That is embodied language. So yeah, if you're going to do it, I look forward to speaking with you after the 4th of July, which is Independence Day, when people in the United States celebrate their independence from England. And yeah, that major development in human history resulted in the founding of the United States, where individual freedom was, yeah, you could say, worded in the Constitution. And so liberty, individual freedom, freedom to be who you are, and freedom, of course, of property, freedom to, yeah, possess also weapons, freedom of speech. Let's talk about freedom of speech for a moment. That freedom of speech allowed you to have your opinion without, yeah, without any kind of, you could not be prosecuted for just having an opinion, yeah, as long as you were, within the bounds of what's acceptable. Because if you're instigating violence, if you are, yeah, clearly calling for violence, then it's no longer free speech. But you can totally disagree with each other on everything, and that disagreement, which is made possible by the freedom of speech, that is actually our ability to recognize disembodied language and to say, oh wow, so we have until now, with our freedom of speech, only been able to have disembodied language. Yes, yes, that's what we have done. And that has played out. And that is still playing out. We are seeing the end of disembodied language because disembodied language just doesn't do it anymore. It cannot continue because it is totally unscientific. So we all adhere, whether we know it or not, to a way of talking which is completely out of sync with reality. So, and to start with you as a speaker, you are not listening to yourself. So how can you be in touch with reality if you're not listening to yourself while you speak? It's just not happening. So your language has a life on its own, it seems. Yeah. It is as if your bicycle is riding by itself without you on it. No, that doesn't happen, right? Your bicycle just stands still in your garage or wherever you keep it. And your language, when you don't use it, it is also just not happening when you don't speak, when you don't listen, when you don't write or read. So there is no inner language that continues, that is just all nonsense. So if you're going to do it, if you're going to experiment, and if you're going to find out about your ability to have embodied language, then I look forward to talking with you and having embodied language with you, because I'm only interested in the people who want to have embodied language. And that's just my freedom. I'm not going to be bothered with anybody's disembodied language. You have to take care of that yourself. I'm not going to do it. I cannot. I have done it, but that was not. It was just because I didn't fully recognize my own my own goal, so to speak, with my own embodied language, because my own goal with my embodied language is, of course, to continue with it. It's not really a goal. It's just enjoying myself, having a good time. So anyways, it is my language enlightenment, so to speak, because that is what my ongoing embodied language is. So if you want to do that, you can speak with me and we can have embodied language together and we can both talk about our language enlightenment. Yes, because we will be having ongoing embodied language. So if you're interested in that, you got to do what it takes. And then we'll talk with each other after the 4th of July, okay? Now, I believe this is enough for now. And I look forward to talking with you, okay? And you watch some of these videos of mine and read some of my work and start using the jargon that I'm using. Start using the terminology that I'm using. It makes everything so much easier if you do that. Look, I cannot demand that, or of course I can say you have to, but if you don't do that, you're going to be, again, stuck in disembodied language. You need to use the new kind of language which I have more or less worded out, so that you can have self-evident listening. Self-evident listening. That's what embodied language is, self-evident listening. And if you don't feel it, if you don't like it, or if you don't have a sense like this is important, then you're just simply not getting it. Okay. All right. Well, I look forward to talking with you. All right.